Let's get this. Yeah, man. Of course. I'll just sit here and hobby.
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos, and this is Wolfbrother Hobbies. And joining me, as per usual, is the incredibly talented, phenomenally teaching
Robert from the Miniatures Paintbrush. How you doing? How's it going, friends?
How is everyone up to? It is good to see you all. It's been another somewhat crazy week, but it's been a pretty good week too. Had some time
Mm,
for, I made some gym progress this week. I got
sweet.
not everything I set out to accomplish this week, hobby wise, but the majority of it.
Oh, I take it you finished your set of blood claws.
Okay, mostly. I'm gonna come
Oh,
clean here.
okay.
So the six that I needed to finish the unit are here, and they are like 99% done. I need to
Ooh.
dry brush the basing. I had it drying all day, but I need to
Mhm.
dry brush the basing and then put on the tuft and the snow flocking. And then the only thing that I really slacked on, because I didn't realize it until earlier today, is I forgot to do the plasma and power weapon in my magenta goodness. So uh,
Yeah,
I will probably be staying up after the show to whip out the airbrush and do some magenta.
nice.
Darklight Dreamer, I hope you're doing well, brother. Get to hang out,
Hello, hello.
get to hang out with that guy in the morning,
Oh,
and
nice.
another one of my brothers, brother Kane, because I haven't seen him in a while, and it was his birthday this week. So shout out to brother Kane.
Oh, happy birthday, Kane.
And yeah, and I'm going to drop him off one of my ulterior motives for inviting him to coffee. Well, I did want to see him and hang out with him, but also so I can slip him a little birthday gift.
Oh,
Unlike last year when I was pinning up a bunch of salamanders leading up to this one is just a regularly procured gift, just because I've been focused on space wolves this year. So
yep. Getting her done. All right.
so I had to this week do I painted the heads. I had the heads painted last week. This week
Mhm,
I finished painting both shoulder pads, put them on, finished paint. Well, the heads were already finished painting last week, so I
mhm.
glued the heads into position this week. And one of the things
Nice.
that I noticed, that sometimes I've struggled with the shoulder pads before, especially when I'm posing or whatever,
Mhm.
is sometimes I struggle when I glue them to fit them in the just right position that I want, because they can kind of hang this way or that on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
And just a little, my little two pennies of a not quite hobby hack is I've decided I like using little, just tiny bits of blue tack or poster tack with super glue, so that way it gets like a nice little spot to cling to when you're trying to get that right angle. And then while
Mm.
then the glue finishes setting, it'll lock it in place.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, most people probably don't have that problem, just because it's probably just a me problem. But sometimes that curved surface, tends to roll around on me when I'm trying to get it to secure in place while I'm gluing it.
I've done green stuff. Put it in a little ball like a tack and just squeeze it on. I don't even need glue.
Oh, nice. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Oh, that reminds me. I meant to ask you. I was talking to Brother Atlas earlier today, and I think it
Mhm.
was you in one of your tutorials that mentioned an inexpensive alternative to green stuff was a plumber's epoxy.
Yeah, yeah. It's called Nita type. It's what I
Neatatite.
still use. Yeah, Nita type starts with a K. And it is green stuff, but look how much I get.
That is awesome.
It's a lot. It's like it'll take you years to get through that. My last one got me through over 10 years of hobby. That's just one canister. Oh my gosh. Yeah, me 11 and stuff.
All right, Neatatite. All right, I got that marked down. Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing.
So that is a great tip for you hobbyists out there if you plan on doing a bunch of green stuff work. If you skip the name brand green stuffs and go straight for Neatatite epoxy, you can
Yep.
definitely. uh, get you far more for your buck.
Oh yeah, they mark that up once they put their brand name on it.
Oh, for sure. Especially, like an as we find with a lot of things in our hobby, if you get the all purpose uh, hardware store version of a thing that can help you in your hobby, you're going to save loads of money versus something that is specifically marketed towards people in the hobby.
Yeah, like mineral spirits, I get that there, and some thinners you can get there, but that's for thinning for alcohol based things. Um, but there's a lot of things you can use. Sort of like when I do some woodworking, when I'm building terrain or something like that, I get the stain from the hardware store as well. Or even when you're creating using foam, getting yourself a nice pre-paint on top of it that you brush over, and then you could rattle the pan, spray your heart's content. That's it's a win situation there.
That sounds like
Oh,
it.
no, yeah.
Darklight says Mythos is nipping at Kane's birthday heels. That is right. The
Nice.
week of Thanksgiving will be my birthday.
It's so much fun.
All right. So once I decided, because I'm realizing that the week of Thanksgiving is so close, I think
Yes, it
my next
is.
project is to start assembling those Terminators. So hopefully I can at least get the blues down on those bad boys before our
Yeah,
game.
heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Uh,
Making
fun,
some tummies.
funnily enough, uh, Atlas, he's working on trying to print out, like, he has an Imperial Guard army, and he's
Yeah.
starting a second army, which is also
Mhm.
Guard. But he's
Perfect.
going um,
Krieg?
from Krieg and some Catachan over to Janissaries, which are the religious zealots. And so
Mm.
he's Gamecraft Dragon. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. So he's printing up
Or,
some very religious looking zealot soldiers, to be his
uh,
Janissaries. And he's like, okay, so I want to be able to field this entire game with just the new army. So he's been 3D printing like a madman, trying to get like, yeah, this Imperial Guard ready to go. But Imperial Guard is very like body heavy army, if you use a lot of
mhm.
infantry, and he's found like multi-part modular kits, so he's like doing whole trays of like torsos and whole trays of arms and weapons and whole trays of legs, and he's like really, I mean, hey, he wants to run all new stuff, so he's working like a madman. Kudos to him. It's funny because I'm
Yeah.
kind of in the same boat, trying to get these wolves in a semi acceptable, look for this upcoming thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take my wolves to my local Warhammer store and see when there's like an event. Or I can go in with my army and say, okay, so how can I pay these effectively? They're beautifully painted. Yeah, that means I don't know how to play. Oh, oh, this is so much fun. So what I'm working on this weekend, I have based 20 of my blood claws, and they're based and ready to go. They're ready for the battlefield.
Nice.
I don't think there's anything else I could do for them. It was a lot of fun painting those, and I have the rest of them here. Although one seems to be missing. I have 39 blood claws. So that one hopefully will pop up. So I'm just working on finishing those bases that I started last week, but I just really didn't have enough time to hobby much this week. So I put out, I don't know. Yeah, well, I had like five. to 8 done last week, and now I have 20 done. So I have some hobby progress. I don't know what I'm going to paint up next. I might paint up a wolf priest or two. I have two. I might paint up two wolf priests.
Those wolf priests are pretty awesome. I
They
think
are, but I feel like I'll have to take my time and really, really pour myself into them because they're really special. The one thing about doing infantry is like I'm like, it's good enough. It's good enough. Can I go back and clean up the face for hours? Sure, I can, but I ain't got time for that. So good enough. Is it gonna? It might win like best painted army, maybe, maybe. Um, for local events, I think it would, but
I think for sure.
if no, I can't say for sure because there's a couple of Golden Demon winners where, I mean, Swinson is not that far away, you know. He's not all that far away, you know. I can get to Virginia easily from Maryland. I'm close to DC too. Yeah, yeah, I can get there. Um, but that's why he drives. I think, yeah, he drives up to the Nova too. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm going to show off some of these that you have done already.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
I'll have the rest of them done by next show for sure. I just gotta decide on what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do the Wolf Priest. I don't know. It just depends on how much time I have. Which I don't think much because I'm having parent teacher conferences. So I'll be staying like pretty much until like 8 o'clock at night in school one night next week. So I don't know how much hobby time I'm actually gonna have. I'll be exhausted for sure.
that is totally understandable.
Oh yeah. Then I have to go to my daughter's parent teacher conferences too. I hope it's not on the same night because that just would stink. I don't think it is, in case two parents work as teachers, as my dynamic other is a teacher. So we'll see. Um, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to paint next. I do want to get those. Um, what I can't think of them. I keep on calling them long fangs, but they're not. They're
The
um,
head
they're
fingers?
they're the next evolution. What is it?
Oh, next evolution of long
Oh,
fangs?
wolf. No, the next evolution of blood claws is the.
Gray hunters.
Thank you, and I don't know why, but this is the fourth time I've forgotten that.
So here's a sneak
So,
peek of a bunch of the blood claws that Rob has done so far, all rank and filed up. They are looking
oh yeah,
sharp, and he does brilliant execution on the individual model, but there's also something about seeing those blood claws all hoarded up like that that's just badass.
oh
Speaking
yeah.
of a horde of blood claws, Gamecraft Dragon says a wolf priest leading the blood claws are fantastic. Talk about playing better. That's awesome. I was actually looking forward to putting my Ragnar with mine, but a wolf priest sounds pretty awesome too.
Yeah, I'll try it out. See how I do. It'll be the first game I played for 10th edition. It'll be my first 10th edition game that I play
Speaking
this since this edition came out.
speaking of some sweet
Uh,
looking work, there are some the motor pool for Big D's Votan that he dropped into our Discord chat, and you can see them. He's got three Sagittars and the Turtle Van
sweet.
in the background.
Yeah, it's hard to unsee TMNT, but yeah, Votan is awesome. I love the story.
Yeah, they are pretty
Such a
cool.
good story. Yeah, it's such a great story.
I didn't like them at first, but man, that was just because they just seemed so unbeatable when Odie was kicking my ass with them. I was like, I don't even know what to do here. Oh man.
Like it's a late game. Why are you shooting? What is this?
Why is this last cannon hitting 12 things at one time? This feels wrong.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh man. But like they have definitely since grown on me, and the sculpts themselves just look pretty fun to paint actually. Um,
Yeah.
like these windows here, man, they'd seem like they'd be really fun to do some uh, uh, airbrushed window effects on all these panels. But also, I like the gold glass in the paneling that you've done because it kind of reminds me of like in Halo, they had these kinds of helmets that were like golden reflective domes, but sometimes broken up with like black panes or brackets, you know. So actually,
Hmm.
this gives me a lot of nostalgia back for my Halo days here. So that's cool.
I usually leave my windows clear for my vehicles, my planes. I like doing the grading and seeing on the inside and doing like a billion buttons. I don't know. That's just my thing. But the other aesthetic is pretty cool. I like that, painted over look. It makes it look shiny and sharp. And I guess I mean, I don't know. It's just a different aesthetic. It's
Yeah,
just pretty cool.
yeah. I
I got,
go ahead.
mhm. I got my love of cockpits from doing World War II planes and doing the cockpit on those. And I finally found a couple of techniques that work really well for me. So that's why I stick to them. But maybe I should break out of my comfort zone and try some of that synth wave kind of like reflective. Yeah, it's so cool. I have to check it out.
I would
Definitely,
love to see
definitely.
what you do with synthwave. Charles, my brother, good to see you.
Hello, Charles.
Charles, I was thinking about you because I've had the itch to play some Yu-Gi-Oh lately.
Oh,
Man, I was really heavy into it towards the beginning of the year, and I just haven't had the chance to play so much lately. Uh, Gamecraft Dragon says I was trying to do the old Apollo Gold helmet visors and windows.
that's
Uh,
it.
that's cool. Yeah, it looks really good, brother. You did a great job. Big fan of the synthwave aesthetic. Ah, my brother shares my tastes. The vehicles look nice. Yeah, Dee did a great job with those, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, any other hobby goodness you got for us this week, Brother Rob? Anything else you've been
Um,
working on or plan on working on, other than, of course, your upcoming Wolf Priest? Anything like maybe not directly painting related, but if you did anything else, read any
well,
good books, played any video games?
the video related, I'm still working on my next video for painting. I'm almost done. I do two methods of painting. I do wet blending for my Skaven as well as I show how to do some glazing techniques on how to paint cloaks. And that's going to be in the video that should be up this weekend. I am hosting my D&D campaign this weekend, so um, there's just so much going on. Um,
Hey, I'm also
but as
playing D&D
far
this
as
weekend.
hey, nice, we um we synced up. Um, so what was I gonna do? I guess all I think I could possibly do for hobby related would be the book reading, which I'm reading Thinking Fast and Slow currently. And I read a couple of other good books, Feeling Good, A Good Energy. That's what it was, Good Energy. And I finished that one. And there was another I recently finished too. I've been reading quite a bit, actually. I'll get you the titles in just a sec. All right, yeah, I'm thinking. Okay, I can't see them. New podcast, no. No. And I'm gonna start The Stand after I finish this book. But yeah, I've been reading quite a bit.
Nice.
I have been reading quite a bit. Um, but it's really cool. Oh, Nexus. That's the name of that book.
Okay.
That thing blows your mind. It's all about AI and how subsystems work, and oh man, it's so good. It's nonfiction, so it's pretty sci-fi for nonfiction. Let's just put it that way. Because of AI, it's insane. But I highly recommend that read. And this one, Thinking Fast and Slow. Good Energy was okay, but it's about the food I ate, and I wanted to get better with my health with my diabetes. So I've been walking before I started work. I walk 10,000 steps before I start my day. So I
That's
do a
awesome.
lot. And if I can't do it in the morning, then I split it up. My lunch break, I'm just walking, and I'm controlling my blood sugar that way. So
That is
it's really
awesome.
good. Yep.
Yeah, can
But I have to
control.
stop. It gets so low that I have to stop exercising. And I'm like, I don't want to. And
Yeah,
my
getting a
app is
control
yelling
of
at me.
your blood sugar is definitely no easy task, but
No.
it does feel good when you accomplish it.
Yeah. It's all over the place.
Friendly neighborhood
Um,
inquisitor, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well.
I am suffering, however, because I kind of want the full grown box set for Emperor's Children for the Christmas box sets.
Uh huh.
And I'm like, I don't know if I should pull the trigger because I have so many models. When am I going to paint it? Like in what year? This I have to think. In what year am I going to paint it? Is it going to be the next 5, 10, maybe 15 years? Okay, that's when I'll probably paint it. In about 10 to 15 years from now, I'll probably get to painting it.
I really should start
Do I
thinking in
want
those
it?
terms.
Yeah, I don't think I should be buying anymore.
I think
I don't
I'm
think the
on 3 years in a row now of saying I'm going to paint these Sisters of Battle.
yeah. Yeah, they're not easy to paint. I've heard some stories.
Yeah, assembling them is not easy either. They are definitely much fiddlier than putting together Space Marines.
What do they say for Forge World? For experienced modelers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
Charles says just put them at the end of the paint list. I mean, that's true.
That's true.
You were talking about how you want to learn some tips to play Space Wolves well. Gamecraft Dragon says,
Yeah.
Rob, take a 20-man blob of blood claws, have a
Okay.
or have a wolf priest lead them. He lets you
Okay.
revive one every command phase. Plus, they get
Nice.
+1 to wound in melee. And of course, with all those attacks getting +1 to wound, he says, absolute murder bricks, loads of fun.
Yes. Okay. Definitely. Yep. And I already got it prepped. There's my first one, the
There you
Wolf
go.
Priest. That's ready to go. I just have to put paint on it. So, and I have the other one here somewhere. I have two of them. But you can only attach them to one squad of 20, right? So that's why I have two of them because I have 40.
Yeah,
So I can run two of that loadout and really be murder bricks.
there you go.
That's nasty. I'm
Uh,
gonna try that. Thank you.
Charles says he's been working on some 28mm Zulus, 2 packs of 10 figures each. Uh, I guess the brand is Ral Partha figures.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are old school. The Ralpatha.
Okay.
Those are classic D&D ones. That's cool. I wonder, are they metal? Probably. Ralpatha was all metal. I
Let,
don't remember if there was any plastic or anything Ralpatha. That's the OG minis.
you are correct. They are metal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. I love. I'm getting nostalgic now. I remember those on the shelf. Raul Palpa. Like, oh yeah.
For Darklight Dreamer's hobby, he says lots of phasmophobia this week on the new map. I met with the new D&D group for dinner and drinks at Duke's and did intro to D&D, pulled a few copies of Futaba in Persona 5X, and pulled her weapon. Awesome.
Oh,
You've had a
nice.
busy week.
Yeah.
Are you? And I'm sure you told me, and I apologize for the CRS. Are you uh, GMing or are you playing? I think I think you said that the people from your new group are kind of new to this, and you're GMing. Am I correct in that? I apologize for the terrible memory. Yeah, he is GMing. Okay, cool. Well, dude,
Oh, nice.
being that I'm not in your game, when we meet for coffee in the morning, I'm really excited to hear all about, the story that you've got lined up. I think it's the one we probably talked about last time, but I know. So, long before we did role playing stuff, Darklight had dreams of being a fantasy writer, and he was always like building up stories and stuff like that. So when we got into role play games, he was always like the go-to natural GM. And so there's two kinds of GMs, and I like both styles. Like, I just love playing the game. But there are GMs who are more um,
Combat
game
heavy.
based. Not
Yeah.
even just combat heavy, but like game based. Like they are about the mechanics of the game,
Mm,
and they will work in story, but like the big focus is on running the game. And then there are people like Darklight coming from a writer background who are more about the story, and everything else is kind of like, rule of cool to roll things in that direction, and there's a lot of leniency for stretching the story. And generally, there's two kinds of people who one treat it more like a like very by the rule like board game style, and then very
yeah.
story driven. Now, one of the things I will say about my current GM though, he is like one of the really cool like I think done one of the best jobs of balancing the two. He runs it like very technically, but also like he does a great job working in story for everyone. But uh, but anyways, saying all that to say, being that Darklight's going into a new D&D group, I had this feeling because he's had that storytelling style of GMing for a while that he was probably
Uh-huh.
going to be the GM. Always excited to
You
hear
are
about his stories.
correct.
Have you known examples of either or both of those GM types?
Me, I've only jammed, so
Okay.
I don't. I try to. I'm a big storyteller, but I'm also yeah no I'm also technical. We have a lot of fights as well and challenges, so I try to blend them both, and then I hear the motivation of the characters, and I try to weave that into the story as well. So I guess I do more of a rounded campaign where I do that, and I'll swing from opportunities where I can expand on characters. I do. Um, so one person, for example, was part of a Cobalt uprising, and he happened to be the smith, and the town was going to be overrun by kobolds, but the smith actually turned out to be a kobold that can cast an illusion spell, and there was two kobolds in a jacket acting sorry English acting like a blacksmith the entire time, and they were pulling all the strings. And it was just a really fun one where I just took an empty PC and made it, and it turned into a story.
That's cool.
So, and it was the really cool people, the players wanted to investigate that, so I had to develop a character pretty quickly. My crew actually puts me on the spot a lot. It's like, oh, I have well laid plans. Well, time to throw those in the fire. No careful plan, last survival, last contact with the enemy.
Yeah, that is
All
so
right.
true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just do the best I can. We have fun. Oh, and last time, oh my gosh, last time that we met, I totally forgot it was the day. It was the day that I was DMing, and then we had a session, and my wife was planning the sessions, and she did not tell me. So it was, and she completely forgot too, which, it happens. But when I heard the front bell ring, I was like, "Oh, we must have an early package from Amazon." And I saw my players. I was like,
Oh no.
"On is today D&D?" And I was smiling, and I'm like, "Oh, crap! I didn't even prepare. Look, go, 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 go!" So I pivoted, and I got all my stuff together, and I had a general idea because I obsess over my game. And I write down detail upon detail upon detail in case they go in that direction. I have plenty of story to say. So having them appear is like worst nightmare situation. But I just smiled and the session went great. So everybody said, because I always ask at the end of my session, so how did I do? Well, what did you think? Think of the session. Did it go well? Did you have fun? Oh man, I had a blast. Oh, and I get all the feedback. Um, and I improved as a DM that way.
I'm the same
But
way. After a good session, I usually end up asking, "Did you have fun? Was
yeah,
it good for you?" Like,
it was a
it's
good. It's like after you get the 3 hours of tickle torture. Was it good for you?
Gamecraft Dragon is also the story type. He says the system is my framework. Story comes first, and Paint Minis Live agrees.
Yeah,
Uh, Paint Minis Live also says, "Man, I miss painting. Thanks for filling the gap, gents. Our pleasure, and it's great to have you stop by, brother. I hope you're doing well."
yeah. Always
And
good to have you.
guys, as always, it is a great time to remind everyone that, of course, this show is sponsored by our brother over at Paint Minis Live, who has a great YouTube channel. I would definitely check it out, even though it's not been super active lately. It is going to be starting up again in the future. While our man, the host there, works his butt off to achieve his dream of being a firefighter and serving the community, which is,
Right.
such a great dream.
That is.
He also has an incredible online store, paintminislive.com. Show off his little store logo there. That is going to, of course, show up reverse in my camera. But if you go to his web store, paintminislive.com, he has all kinds of professional miniature painting supplies. There are some tutorial stuff available. There's D&D books there. And of course, he carries my favorite brand of hobby products, which is Monument Hobbies Pro Crow line. It's my absolute favorite brand of paints. You can get all that there over at paintminislive.com. If you use the link down below or the link that Nightbot has been putting in the chat. Oh, Nightbot he heard me. Nightbot coming through. Actually just posted the link. If you use the link, you can get access to those hobby materials, and of course, you can support Wolfbrother Hobbies by letting them know that we sent you over there for no additional cost. Paint Minis Live is doing well, testing for my national EMT license late next month. Nice. Sounds
Oh,
like great
oh,
progress.
yeah.
Charles says,
Epic, man.
"Sean was a bloodthirsty DM I dealt with last century. Balrogs who throws two Balrogs at a low level party. Ugh. And
Oh, my
there was no wizard to say fly, you fools, I assume."
You shall not live.
Oh no.
TPK.
Darklight Dreamer says, "I always try to get the feedback as well, and I'm all about trying to give my players individual attention and make them feel involved in the story and try to work their backstories in, etc."
Oh, yeah.
And by,
Yeah. I always ask, what's your motivation? What goals do you want to achieve? And
yeah,
I'm like, ooh.
and by the end of the campaign, I really tried to give them an opportunity to feel like a badass.
Oh, yeah.
That personal touch is great.
As long as it's a good touch.
A consensual good touch.
That's, yes. Um, So many blood claws in which I'm going to sink. This wolf priest in and go and make some enemies at my Warhammer store. And then when they feel something really good and they feel great about how they're beating me, I'll whip out my towel. Oh, by the way, I also have a towel army. You do?
I also have that
I have
one
a
in
couple
the
models.
I also have that one in the trunk just for this occasion.
Just in case you whip my butt. Just in case you table me. I'll return the favor.
Retelling his story, Charles says two magic users were already croaked. All told, 18 of 20 players didn't make it. Holy crap.
Oh,
They came in
man.
like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. What is he thinking?
Oh, man.
Apparently not.
Some GMs do take players in party wiping.
I mean, I will take a player into a dangerous situation. However, I will give them ample time to rescue themselves from imminent doom. For example, there was a low level party in the campaign. They're fighting against a dragon, but the dragon was not into the fight. He just wanted to. He had a commitment. He fulfilled the commitment. He scared the town folk. He's leaving. My fool barbarian steps in front. They're on a crenellated wall, on a castle wall, which I 3D printed the entire wall that goes the length of the table. It looks so cool. And he moves his mini between the crenellations and he says, I'm gonna jump on the dragon, which a bad idea, but not a terrible idea, because I was gonna let him do it. However, I say, okay, that's great, but you may consider your position simply because you hear the dragon inhale fiercely and a rumble come from its throat. And he arches his head backwards, opens up his mouth. So I think it would behoove you if you were behind the crenellations and not in between them. And he says, no, I want to get closest to the dragon so I can jump on its head. And I'm like, oh, and a fool and his life is soon separated, right? So I was like, okay. He exhales fire, and
You die.
I mean, we can roll the damage, but I don't want to add insult to injury.
Yeah,
And that's when he says, no, 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 roll the damage. And he's like, no.
it's, it just reminds
But
me of like in video games when you start to make a bad decision. If a game keeps asking you to confirm, are you sure you want to do this? You may want to rethink it.
you know, I so what I did was is that I had to put a scroll of wish. That's the only way that he got brought back. So he got brought back once, and ever since then, he has learned his lesson. But he's a gnome barbarian. Like, really? It's just a little dude with muscles.
Oh,
Picture a jacked garden gnome. That's who he is.
my brother and I were talking about this old school RPG called Legend of Dragoon the other day.
Oh my
And
gosh, I remember that.
oh, you played that one?
PlayStation,
Yes,
baby.
sir. So
PlayStation 1.
one the barbarian in that game is a cutesy looking girl that is very
Uh
petite
huh.
in stature, and she's very petite, and she's got like long silver hair. She's a
Kick your butt.
but yeah, she's got wingly blood. That's why she's got silver hair, which is their kind of like magical, creature. It's kind of a cross between a fae and an
Faye.
elf. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
anyway, so that's why she's able to be a barbarian there because she just starts pulling out this massive hammer that most people would use two hands for, and it's just one handing it to just knock people
Wail
around.
it.
And he was like,
Yes.
he's like, yeah, I think next time I play a barbarian, I want to make like a cutesy girl barbarian, just like that character.
Yeah. Legend
Talking
of Dragoon. I
ta-
love that one.
talking about. Oh yeah, such a great game. Oh. You know what? Okay, you're not gonna be able to see this until after the show, but I gotta send you these pictures I sent Darklight as a fellow Legend of Dragoon fan, because they are awesome. Uh, there they are.
Do you remember the old PlayStation magazine?
Yes,
I
PlayStation
was in
magazine.
it.
What?
I was in a comment. Yeah, they published one of my letters and they did a drawing based on my based on my letter. It was pretty cool.
That is
Yeah, I have
so
the
cool.
episode. I have the issue downstairs. Yeah. I'll have to bring it up next time. I'm in two magazines.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, one, I was doing a community outreach program where we were doing a mural out of an empty lot in Brooklyn. And I was part of the help on there. And I wound up in an article. And then I wrote a letter to PlayStation Magazine, which they published it. It was pretty cool.
That is so cool.
And I think I did the same thing for a comic book once, but I forgot the comic book. But when I first started a comic book back in my day, anyway, they used to have like little Q&As that you could send little mail to. And because they didn't have any ads or anything else that goes at the end of a series, they just filled it with that. And I got in one of them, but I forgot which one. I know I collected it, but I own the one that I'm in, but I don't remember which one is it. It is. It's so crazy.
Oh,
Do you
another
collect
barbarian.
comic books?
I used
Okay.
to. I then got overwhelmed and kind of stopped. And then once I got
Yeah.
started on my Warhammer hobby, it was just like I had to choose a lane.
Oh, I gotcha.
Um, Also, another barbarian Darklight mentioned was the Mother Barbarian, who's like the motherly type. Is like always helping. Like take care of the others. Cook for the camp. You know, uh, wipes their faces, stuff like that. But when somebody threatens her little ones, in this case the party members, she goes full
Mhm.
barbarian mode with a giant frying pan flavored to be a great battle axe.
That's awesome. Reminds me of Karlach.
Yeah, Karlach's so cool.
I know. Love Karlach. I'm in Baldur's Gate right now, and I just did the storyline for the Shar in it yet. And Shadowheart. That's it. I just finished Shadowheart's storyline,
That's
which I
cool.
haven't really played much. I try. That really helps me unwind after a long day. If it's not painting, it's definitely Baldur's Gate. It's been Baldur's Gate 3 for a while now. I
Same.
have to still play Final Fantasy 7 Part 2. I have not.
I
I
still
have
need to
not played
finish part
that.
one. Yeah, my
I
backlog
finished
is
Part
getting too
1.
big.
It's just, I'm as I get older, I don't want to grind levels.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because I used to grind levels like there was not, but I had nothing to do but grind levels. So
Yeah,
that's a different story.
I same way. Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy VII, my favorite thing
Yeah.
to do because I love the spell beta for enemy skill. And
Uh-huh.
so, my favorite thing to do would be to get to Fort Condor. The little part where you got to fight the Midgar, or you got to get a Chocobo to run away from the Midgar Zolom.
Yes.
I would do that, and then I'd get to Fort Condor across the swamp, and then I would
Hmm.
grind there until I was like level 38, I
Oh,
think was the
yeah.
level. So that way I could
Yeah.
withstand being hit by beta, live through it, get the enemy skill, and then go through the rest of the game with the spell beta, which was so cool.
I wish I knew you back then.
Oh man,
Oh man.
and doing that, I would get so hyped because to me it was like the coolest looking spell in the game. Except of course, like the different forms of Bahamut and Knights of the
Oh
Round, that
yeah.
kind of thing. But like it was
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, yeah.
coolest like non-summon spells to me, and so I would always be chanting as my character did it, like beta, and then it would make that flame storm sound, and I'd be mimicking it like. There goes Darklight, beta. He remembers me shouting it throughout the house. Oh man, such a good
That's
time.
awesome.
New shirts are looking sick, Mythos. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Like I love the synthwave colors of my logo, of course, but like I don't know, I love having the Stay Frosty saying on the back. I feel like that definitely adds some of the Mythos personality to it. Darklight Dreamers laughed. He said, "You explained it at the same time as I typed it." He even did the.
That's epic.
Brothers, man, great minds think alike. Oh man.
Uh,
Uh, Gamers with coffee, Ashley and Greg, welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well.
hey,
I
how's
have
it
been
going, Ashley and
sipping
Greg?
on some iced coffee made with Gamers with Coffee. Oh yeah, I said last week I was going to add them to the Nightbot. I'm going to do that here in just a minute. Or at least I'm going to pull up the Nightbot page to remind myself to do it after this.
Mm. So Nightbot is an AI that you train?
Yeah, yeah, you just type in your commands and then it kind of runs it throughout the course of your chat.
That's cool.
I did the same thing when I first saw somebody use it in one of their live streams, thinking, "Man, who's this Nightbot guy?" They're very active in the chat. Oh, they keep putting links. They must be a mod.
Yeah, I thought it was a moderator. I mean, it is a moderator, right?
Oh, that's true.
I
That's true.
guess.
It's just an algorithmic moderator.
Wow. I don't know. What do you
Uh,
think about AI in general? That's a question there.
I think it is a helpful tool. Uh, I it is not some of the uses and ways that it has been executed, such as being taught by artists who get paid for their work. Some of its uses have not been super ethical. In general, I think it's a pretty helpful tool, and also like there are some unfortunate side effects on um, livelihoods of not only artists and stuff like that, but people who program and stuff like that for a living. Uh, my uh, my wife being an unfortunate person who entry level in programming, went to school for years for it, and then just before she gets out, of course, they get to a point with AI where AI is doing the legwork that they usually hire entry level positions for in software programming companies. And so, like, there's a whole job market where an entire couple of roles are gone. And then, of course, so she tried to pivot for IT, right? Well, a lot of the
Right.
people who lost those entry level jobs suddenly
Went
flooded the
there.
market for IT. So, so she got outsaturated in two different markets for it. And so I can
Wow.
understand why a lot of people have an immediate negative response for it. I think it could possibly help us get to some uh, beneficial things in the future though. Like once the dust settles and I think there can be some middle ground found.
Do you think the sentient being called the One will start a religion, a cult?
I mean,
Because that could happen, and
it's
I could
possible.
see that happening, and I could see people believing in an AI being as the omnissiah, so to speak.
The
It's
Omnissiah.
just it's really sounding familiar. Isn't it? We're
The
gonna have AI.
Omnissiah slash
The dark
Skynet.
age of technology, friend. It's the dark age of technology. It's upon
As
us.
long as it doesn't start calling us Dave, we should be okay. I can't let you do that, Dave. You were talking about
I
how.
know. 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yep, yep.
Uh,
Uh,
but yeah, exactly that. It's kind of creepy, man.
you were
It's
talking
so
about
creepy.
how in D&D, you let your players do what they want, but you always and you usually and you make sure there's consequences, but you usually give them ample opportunity to get themselves out of that trouble. Uh, Darklight says, "That's true. I mean, you can technically swim in lava in D&D, but I will ask you if you're sure."
Yeah, yeah.
Greg and Ashley are good. They have their 3-year-old granddaughter spending the night. Their favorite miniature. I had a book. Oh,
Nice.
Darklight talking about how he also enjoys writing. I had a book idea of a cyberpunk noir novel about AI gaining sentience and finding religion. That's cool.
Wow, we're aligned, brother.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
Now, the difficult question. Where did I put those frozen grass tufts for my space wolves?
That's one of the toughest questions in the universe. We all will ask it at one point in our lives.
For some reason, tufts are like, I always find a drawer where I'm like, this is where I'm going to keep the tufts from now on so I don't lose them in the future. And then I can never remember what drawer it is, or
Yeah, draw
I'll forget
disappears.
that first drawer and I'll start another drawer. Okay, this is where I'm going to keep the tufts from now on for forgetting. I could swear I had other tufts, and then later
Yeah.
on, I'll like a week later, I'll be like looking for something else. Like, oh, I also had these tufts. Like, hello, mini Warmut, brother Brian. Darklight's
Yeah.
book idea involved machine ghosts and the search for a divine signal called the God Wave or something like that.
Nice.
Uh, Gamecraft Dragon,
And
also a
also-
writer, and Gamecraft Dragon had a few books that he published before, and he says, my published cyberpunk novel involves a jealous AI that lives in the main character's head. Ah, nice. Charles, something
That's
missing
cool.
all the time. Yeah, I mean, most of you in chat have seen the surface of my desk, so you guys can understand how I would lose some stuff up here. So I have the uh, stone dry brush. So once I find those tufts, I can put down the tufts, and then I can put down the snow flocking, and other than those power effects, I will be gold. It'll be gold. I love gold.
Oh,
Um, so I think those were my hobby updates. Video
yeah.
games. I didn't really play much. Um, I did. Okay, so I did watch stuff. And more anime stuff. I finished. I think I mentioned before that I finished Fire Force. So this time I finished. I caught up and finished the anime Bungo Stray Dogs, which I thought
Nice.
had 2 seasons. Turns out it had 5, and so over the last few weeks I just binged all 3 of the remaining seasons. Uh,
Hey, it's cool.
and my name is Mythos, and I have a desk problem. I haven't started a new drawer for tufts in 3 months.
That's
Oh
hilarious.
man, one day I'm gonna move and I'm gonna come across just like a dozen hiding spots where I've put tufts. Oh man. But yeah, Bungo Stray Dogs. If anyone is into anime, and I like a lot of the more action esque. Often like your shonen types. I'm a big fan of things like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
I like those actiony types, and Bungo Stray Dogs fit right into that.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Even though like it's kind of shonen in the action aspect, it is definitely more adult themed. Like not in a sexual context, but there's just like certain things that where most shonen is aimed at like the teenage. There's certain
Mm.
there's certain topics in this like suicide and other kind of stuff. I probably shouldn't have said the word out loud. Self-exiting, um, that is covered in the anime. That so it's like the source material is like a little more adult, um, but but it's definitely one of those shonen esque action kind of anime. And then I started a new one called Chainsaw Man, which was cool. And
Oh, I heard of that.
I think there's only one scene of that one, and I'm already on episode 9. So
Nice.
yeah,
I am upset
you're what?
that they took Archer off of Netflix because I was trying to finish watching Archer
Oh
before they
no!
took it off, and I never got a chance to, so I never finished the series.
Oh no! I wonder where they're gonna put it next. See if
I hope they put it
hopefully,
on Hulu because I do have Hulu.
hopefully so. Uh, is it something is gone? Is it something is misplaced? Or is it something that the grandson, who's a year and a half old, borrowed? That's fair. Uh, Gamecraft Dragon says, for me, it's a box of bases. I have extra bases everywhere. Now that for some reason, I have one drawer with a bunch of bases, and it's been contained to that one drawer. For some reason, I don't know. The tufts just end up in random places.
You could say it had a tough life. It's terrible. Don't
Yeah,
encourage them. It's terrible.
I should really use a lot more organization. Like, just when planning, I should be more flocking careful with it. Charles has boxes of terrain, but what's in each? No idea. All right. Um, so I think that is my hobby update. I didn't buy nothing this week. Of course, it is the month of Thanksgiving, and next month is Christmas. So, aside from maybe an occasional hobby, like a tool, like paint or something like that, no more buying
Yeah.
stuff for myself.
Yeah, I know.
It's a
I
rule
know.
that the missus and I
You're
have.
a saint.
I don't know about all that. Oh, I did have one thing. Oh, well, no. I'm going to talk about that when we get to our main topic.
Well, one thing I did not mention was that I did get, I started a small thing a while ago called the, what was it? Pass it along box. What was the box that you won? The gift box that you have to give it to another person. Pay it forward
Yes.
box.
I think it was
Yes.
pay it forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know where that wound up. Hopefully, it's in good hands. Uh, since I lost track of that one, um, I sent someone another one um, recently. So I'm starting a new one. It's going to be much smaller and very sincere. Nothing too crazy, but what you want other people to try hobby products or something or techniques, and you want to give them something to get them to the next level of their painting journey. I think that I sent you a couple of things that might be game changing. I hope. So
That is awesome. Hey,
yeah.
that'll be really cool for us to re kick off that tradition.
Yeah, I think that was it's a good-hearted tradition, and it's pretty cool, and it brings positivity. So I like spreading positivity. It's just who I am.
Oh, I was just about to
So
say, whatever happened to that box? Gamecraft Dragon says it went to Mythos, then went to him, Gamecraft Dragon, and then from
yeah,
them
and
to
then
Captain Morgan, and then never
Captain
saw him.
Morgan, and then what? Then I lost track after Captain Morgan.
Yeah. Uh,
I have to rewatch his videos.
Gamecraft Dragon says that's how I got to know you guys, which is very awesome. So, I mean, it really, even though it didn't make it as far as we would have liked it to, it accomplished kind of what it set out to do. It brought us together, right? We got a new member in our community, which is cool.
That's, well, hopefully we can fish some more this time.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Um, so I am going to move to my pick for art of the week, and then we'll hit up channels of the week, and then we got a main topic today.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Oops.
I'm gonna have a howling good time.
Oh. Is that was that what the was that the video that started the box? Was the do a howl, for
Yes,
yeah,
I
oh
think it
man.
was. Give me your
That's
best howl. I remember yours. Oh man, it's been a while since I saw that video. That was a good one.
I got to go fish out that video.
We, I don't think we in the hobby do things like that anymore, do we?
The challenges and stuff like that.
The
I
challenges, the response videos, that was a big one too.
Yeah. I haven't like there's been a couple where I've been tempted like seeing like something from like Mini War Game Pete or something like that or Who
Hmm.
Took My Dice. A couple of them have done some thought provoking videos where I'm like, oh man, I should do a response video, and then I just never get around to doing it. But yeah, that used to be a big thing. Like we'd all have like uh, we'd fish for a question or a topic or whatever, and then we'd do responses to each other's topics. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool era. Oh my gosh, we're old. We're old YouTubers.
Oh my gosh, we know different YouTube eras.
That's right.
All right, so today's art of the week is from Bjorn's Berserkers, and they're a Facebook page. Normally, I do art of the week from Instagram, but this one was just so damn cool looking. I decided to, and not for any particular reason do I normally do Instagram over Facebook. It's just kind of, I think, a little easier for me to navigate over the course of doing art of the week, but this one was super cool. So there is a Saturnine Praetor, which is like
Mhm.
if you want to put it in 40K terms, it's a Saturnine Terminator, basically a captain um, in Terminator armor. And
Okay.
it's done up with so much cool stuff. First of all, the plasma blaster on its power fist has got that orangey glow that's very common in 30K. It's holding
Mhm.
the axe of Morkai, that's Logan Grimnar's, uh,
Oh,
and painted up with the same kind of orangey fiery effects. It's got, of course,
that's
the
so cool.
30K color scheme. And interestingly, its pauldrons are done in like a very cool beige color, and it's
Mhm.
got it really pops. They've tastefully used the decals and stuff here and weathered the decal so it really looks like it fits in. And they've got
Yeah.
this big, huge pelt over one of the massive Saturnine shoulder plates. And it actually, I don't know if they sculpted it in green stuff, but it looks perfectly set there. Like, it doesn't look like it's hanging awkwardly. Looks like it belongs on that Saturnine plate. This whole thing just looks so freaking good. Um, it is in our collaboration thing. So if you want to, after the show or whatever, take a look at it. It's definitely some great looking Space Wolf stuff. And also, it's got one of those wolf skull masks like the wolf priests have.
Oh
So
wow.
it's
Nice.
it's really cool looking. some uh, what are these? Hounds of Mordecai. Oh, this is Hired Gun Studios. Wait, was this somebody else? Oh, so I'm sorry. Bjorn Berserkers is the page. This is from Uriel Madjaw. Let me make sure I give credit exactly where it's due. Uriel Madjaw. Um, so brilliant work by Uriel Madjaw. And I'm not going to do too many of these because now I realize this is somebody else's, uh, compilation page. But there was really cool Wolfguard Terminator here with the Salt Cannon. There was one more in particular I wanted to show y'all. Really cool Njal. Battle Leader. Where's that other one I was looking at? Chad, this is Bastian Salvador. Warhammer Horus Heresy Bronze at the Golden Demon. You've got a Grey Slayer here with a Fenrisian Wolf, which is just really badassly painted. And the armor's got kind of that lighting that you might see on non-metallic metal, but in the storm gray of the
Mhm.
Space Wolves, really well done. And of course, like the faces, the fur, all of it is just incredibly well done. Even the loincloth, the red of the loincloth really pops. I mean, it's just an incredible piece.
It's gorgeous.
Man, I wish I could find the one that I was looking at earlier. I was like, this has got to go in the show.
Mhm.
Okay, here it is. This one is a Wolf Friese by Mandolino Painting. I'm going to specifically share this in Messenger to Okay, because I'm on Wolfbrother Hobbies. Okay, well, guys, take a look at this. You can see I have never seen a flame effect done on a Crozius before. I've seen like
Mm,
power weapon, energy weapon effects, but this is more like
mm.
a heated weapon effect, which is really cool. And then, of
That's
course, they add
awesome.
the crackle of energy around it. There's some OSL where the energy crackling reflects off the robes and his armor and stuff. And so the lighting is so incredibly well done. Um, of course, so they've chosen the black armor and like a dark brown leather color scheme, which is kind of a muted palette on this model. However, I think it works well here because that muted palette really lets the OSL and the energy effects really stand out. So I think it's incredibly well done. They've really there's a lot of intention here with this lighting, and definitely is like super eye catching. So brilliant work, Mandolino Painting. And if I said that incorrectly, I apologize. Um, and of course, beautiful work to Bastian Salvador, this Golden Demon winner here. And we did briefly look at this Terminator, the Drunk Painter, incredible Terminator. And of course, the main one that brought me to this page, Uriel Madjaw, which was my main reason for coming to this page. And you know what? I gave it some likes earlier, but that was on my private. So while I'm here, since I'm shouting them out, let's give them some love from the Wolfbrother Hobbies page. Bloop, bloop. All right. Now that we've done Art of the Week, welcome home, kiddo. Now that we've done Art of the Week, do you have a channel of the week in mind, my brother?
I know I sent you a one.
I can go ahead and pull it up. I just didn't know if you wanted me to
Yeah.
call it out. It's the Imperial Saint.
Oh, yes. Yes. I thought it was Mishmash. I got confused with another one. The Imperial Saint, which at first glance, yes. And at second glance, too. But she is actually building one-to-one scale Space Marines
Yes.
and stuff like that. And really cool stuff. She's 3D printing awesome stuff for our hobby. for cosplay or statues. I don't know if it was a statue or cosplay that she built that for. I think it was a statue.
Yeah, she did the statues
Uh,
first, and she's also now working on a cosplay Sisters of Battle armor.
oh, nice,
You
nice,
you can see
nice.
here a 1-to-1 scale of Horus's just his shin armor and boot comes up to the top
Hmm.
of her head.
Yes, yes.
That's so cool.
So crazy. Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to her on YouTube, which I've corrected because I follow her on
Oh yeah.
Instagram. Um, and before she even started doing this 3D printing stuff, she used to do lore videos.
Gosh.
Um,
Mhm.
and so, like, I subscribed to her back when she was doing lore videos. Here is some of her 3D printed Sisters of Battle cosplay. If anybody's curious to see that, pretty cool looking. Of course, it'll look even better once it's painted, has lenses in, but man, super cool. Um, but yeah, once she got into these massive projects, 3D printing Primaris Space Marines, and then she did a Sister of Battle, and now she started not only on the cosplay but a Primarch, which is currently Horus Lupercal. Um,
Mhm.
there's the statue of her Sister of Battle statue, because she did the statue of the Sister of Battle, now the cosplay. So yeah, so she's got like I can see where this has completely taken over her hobby because, if you're doing big 1-to-1 scale projects, and we always see where she's kind of assembling stuff together at the end in the videos, but like she did a couple behind the scenes where it shows that for every piece that you see her put together, there's hours of like measuring, adjusting, uh, sanding, gap filling, just because even though, you know, she's experienced with printing, like things just don't always print the way you expect them to or fit together the way you expect them to. So, okay, here we go. Way down here towards the bottom of her page, or back when she's doing mostly lore videos, which is when I started following her because I enjoyed her lore snippets. But yeah, she's done all kind of lore, you know, uh, Space Marines, Void Dragon, Karn the Betrayer, the Assassins, Grey Knights, Member of Mankind, the Repentia. So yeah, lots of cool stuff here. So if you like lore videos, you like her 3D printing projects, she does good stuff. My channel of the week is My Mini Grimdark, all one word, lowercase.
Nice.
But being that we're talking about the Space Wolves data sheet for the Wolf Scouts tonight, I thought having some. Remember when I was talking about Hubtown Hammer and how he does really strategic breakdowns and tactics videos of Custodes and how I wish somebody was like that for Space Wolves? This is the guy. I found somebody.
Oh.
So he's got like some really well thought out tactical videos. He even does some math hammer for it. But I found him because I was, I wanted to get some info on the new Wolf Scouts. So research purposes, shout out, of course, to my usual favorite news channel, Auspex Tactics, and of course,
Mhm.
my mini Grimdark. He did a deep dive on the Wolf Scouts. He talks about competitive lists sometimes. Here's a 1,000 point Saga of the Beast Slayer sample list for people who are just starting off. Wolfguard Terminators plus Arjak Rockfist. Is this a super combo? So he does a deep dive with Arjak and the Terminators. Uh,
Oh, I gotta subscribe to that.
yeah, it's a really, really good tactical channel. Um,
And it's a lot of purple, and I do like
I
purple.
do like purple. Thunderwolf Cavalry. This is where out of a 10 video, I got to rate him a 6.5 because he loses 3.5 points for not liking the Thunderwolf Cavalry models. I understand his point to where because they are firstborn, and they're a kind of an older sculpt. They don't match the aesthetics of the new Space Wolf stuff. I totally get
Hmm.
that. But to
Hmm.
completely write them off as a sculpt, he loses 3.5 points. But yeah, lots of really good deep dive. You can see all the red bars here, where I've
Hmm.
I've been kind of like spamming through. Oh, some of them aren't like the usual Wolf Scouts and stuff aren't even coming up, but I've been spamming some of his tactics videos for the last couple days. I was at the gym last night listening to, you know, listening to Warhammer. It's funny because I find that sometimes like that's just what I'm doing while lifting weights is listening to Warhammer, and I'm like, man, I'm managing to combine nerdiness and working out at the same time.
That's perfect.
Let's see. Oh, you commented that we're getting old. Charles says, "Old, really? Call me when you hit 71, younglings." Yes, sir. Uh, Charles said, "I've got a ton of figures coming in from NKG, 28 millimeters, humans, dwarfs, and lots of orcs. Max out for free shipping. Very nice.
Oh, nice.
Excellent, Wolf. Most excellent. Thank you, sir." Oh, speaking, that was something I meant to do in my update earlier. That covers us for our channels of the week, by the way. So definitely check those out. They are in the description below. Um, I meant to cover in my hobby update earlier, my little health update. So I have goals. I've been hitting the gym pretty regularly since February, really since March, if I'm being honest, because I wasn't super consistent right away. But
Right.
my goal is to uh, double some of my metrics by the next time next year comes around. And so for benching, when I started um, in February, I was doing the dumbbell bench with 35 pounds in each hands, and
Oh, nice.
this week I achieved 60 pounds in each hand.
Wow.
So just 10 more pounds in each hand, and I'll have hit double for that one. Butterfly, I hit butterfly press. I hit double this week. Um, I started off at 70 pounds doing butterfly press. I hit 140 this week.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm hitting some uh,
Milestones.
milestones for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome, brother.
I started off doing curls with 15 pounders. I'm curling 25s. I keep trying to move up to 30, but I just can't quite get there yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, so working out is going well. I'm starting to see some noticeable strength changes.
It's epic. I am so proud of you. And I've been walking, a lot of walking,
I,
regulating my sugar.
I do walking on the days I go to the gym because I use that to warm up before I get to the weights. But my wife recently mentioned she wanted to start walking together. She got
Oh,
her,
nice.
she's got some equipment, workout clothes, pedometer, stuff like that. So we're gonna start
Mm,
taking some walks together. So that'll be even more movement going on for me, which I'm looking forward to.
yeah. It's gotten contagious. I already have another person that says, "Hey, you're going for your walk early in the morning before work starts." I get to this school early to beat the traffic because I'm by DC, so traffic. Um, so yeah, so they were like, "Hey, I need to walk too. Mind if I walk with you?" So now there's two teachers. It's probably going to be contagious. I'll probably have a whole crew of walkers in the morning.
That's awesome.
I'm going to try for it. Now it's a goal.
Um, it reminds me of in the Saul in the show Saul Goodman, um,
Yeah.
the offshoot of Breaking Bad. There's this
Better
part
call
where
Saul.
you better call Saul. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There's this part where he's trying to get in as a end of life lawyer. So he's trying to get in with like the people at the old folks home and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
to get in good with them, he starts joining these morning walkers at like the mall walkers and stuff like that. And Starts off with just a couple of ladies and him walking, but he puts on the charm and the charisma. And next thing you know, he's got like a flock of older retirees walking through the mall with him while he's chatting them up and putting on the riz, as the kids say.
Oh yeah.
Mini Warma is prepping for his Four Against Darkness solo game while listening to that youngster talk about getting old.
Oh man.
That's true. That's true. Brother Rob is far too old to talk. Far too young to talk about getting old. I was about to say far too old to talk about getting young. As if
No, it's true though. That's also true.
I wish we could get younger. We need to find ourselves a fountain or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Apparently, it was in Florida somewhere.
All right, you want to learn about the new Space Wolf Scout?
I do very much so. I have not known anything about it. I hadn't had time to look at it. So you're my source.
I see.
You're gonna see my reactions live.
I see gray on Rob's chin. That's just distinguishment. That has nothing to do reflecting his age. Just distinguishment.
I'm the Rizzler. That's the kiddos.
Got
that Riz.
Charles says, I need to walk, but my left knee is not cooperating. I did get my weight down to 192 pounds from 218. Bravo. That is awesome, brother.
Absolutely.
Mini Warma says, welcome, Rob, to the Great Chin Club.
Thanks. I'm proud. Yeah, it's November, so I'm gonna wolf out. That's what I call wolfing out.
Gonna go from a
full-on neck beard,
a wolf to a silver fox.
Oh yeah, I'll start trimming it soon.
All right. So they came out with some updates. One of them was the Space Wolf update, but they came out with updates for several armies yesterday, including the Ultramarines, who, of course, they got their new models in the character sculpts from Cicado Sicarius, Marnius Calgar, and the new Vitrix Guard, which they do look great. We'll cover those in another show.
They do.
But then also Wolves got one of those updates as well, and we'll take a look at that. So, we'll drag a little bit. Nope. Alt. Yes. Okay. Expand that page just a little bit. First thing that they have here is the Champions of Fenris detachment. Of course, this they brought back, I think, a few months ago, the last Balance Pass update or something like that. No changes here, but it is in our downloads. But just to remind everyone, in addition, I think this one came out during the Grotsmas, last year's Christmas detachment. Anyways, so those who have the book, remember, aside from the 3 detachments that you have available in your Space Wolves book, don't forget that online is the free PDF download of also a detachment called the Champions of Fenris. And this one is very much geared towards Terminators and units that like to get free heroic intervention. So it could be definitely your Terminators, but also things like Wolfen would be really good for this. Unfortunately, it only works for infantry and walkers, so your dreadnoughts would also be good for this. If only it could go to the cavalry too, but I guess they can't have everything. But we can come back and take a look at that for those who may not be familiar with it. But what we want to go to, the star of our show tonight, is the Wolf Scouts themselves. All right, so like most of our infantry, let me just pop back to our window. See how much of this is popping up? Okay, that's perfect. All right, so we've got the standard 7-inch movement for Space Wolves, so they get that extra inch of movement. Space Wolves being just a little bit faster on the hunt. They have a 3+ save, and that is different because scouts usually have a 4+ save. But and a lot of people were upset that our wolf scouts are not in scout armor anymore. They're in Phobos armor.
Yeah.
But that's because in um, most of the other chapters, newbies, rookies are put into the scout position. Where
Yeah,
here,
not so here.
yeah, so they haven't earned their Astartes armor yet. For the Space Wolves, though, they're veterans. They're elite specialists who
Are
actually,
the scouts.
yeah, and most of the time they directly serve the High King. They don't actually serve the uh, the great company that they're with. And so a
Mhm.
lot of them hold a lot of authority, even when talking to uh, wolf lords, because you know they usually report directly to the High King. So this is really cool. And of course, as such, they've already earned their armor. And with the invention of Primaris Phobos armor, there is already a scout type stealth armor for people who have a full set of Astartes armor, and that's the Phobos armor. So it makes sense, I think, lore wise, to put them in Phobos armor.
Yes.
And having that extra 3 up instead of 4 up, I think, is pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
They're a leadership 6 unit. They have objective control 1. Now,
One.
here's something interesting. Unlike the Wolfguard head taker, the hunting wolves stay in their party, stay in their squad.
Mm.
Whereas with the head takers, they separate at the beginning of the game and they move as a separate unit. So here you
Yeah.
have these hunting wolves with a large base and 10 inches of movement, while the rest of the squad has 7.
Right.
This is actually a really big boost to the wolf scouts because that means you can move the scouts up 7. And then, because the hunting wolf has extra movement, you could actually move them a little bit ahead of the scouts, keep them in their 2-inch um, proximity,
Currency.
yeah, coherency.
Coherency.
But yeah, but you could also use that extra large base to keep them in coherency, but still be quite a bit closer to the enemy.
Mm.
And that will make their charge more. They'll be like, I don't know, an extra inch and a half, 2 inches closer to their enemy thanks to the hunting wolf's movement and larger base.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's going to be really cool. And then
Yeah,
especially
definitely.
if you have a detachment that lets you advance and charge, you know,
Oh.
you're going to have the up to 10 inches of movement from the hunting wolf, then advance and then charge. You're going to have a massive threat range on that. Now,
Mhm.
one of the things people were worried about is how different are they going to be from Astartes scouts, and one of the core abilities that they expected a scout to have that they thought might be taken away, they do still get both the infiltrators keyword and scout 7 inches, which is pretty cool. I think scouts have scout 6 inches,
Mhm.
but because they have the higher movement, they get to scouts 7 inches.
7.
Yep.
Right.
So they're going to be moving faster. They're going to get to the center of the board faster, whether it's infiltrating or deep striking. Can be great for setting up on an objective or being a harassment threat closer to your enemy lines early on.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're like super wolves.
exactly. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
want to read you their starting equipment before we go through all of their weapons and abilities because I think it's important to know what they start out with. Now, um, every Wolf Scout is equipped has a pack leader equipped with a plasma pistol and a power weapon. That's already good.
Mm.
But then also every Wolf Scout is equipped stock. No, right out of the gate with no changes. They get a plasma pistol and a combat blade. A whole squad with
Mm.
plasma firepower. That is insane.
Yeah,
That is
definitely.
that is something Astartes used to have with their veteran squads back in previous editions. I want to say seventh and eighth edition, where you could take entire Wolfguard squads with plasma. So I think it is awesome to have a whole squad with plasma firepower now.
Heck yeah, man.
Um, so that's I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. Family wants my attention. Be safe, all. Charles, you have a great night.
Hey,
Uh,
good night.
and then Greg and Ashley are also heading out. Have a great rest of your show. You have a great night as well. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great evening, guys.
Mini Warm-Up says, slow your roll, bro. I wish I had seen that earlier. I wish I knew what that was in relation to.
Mm-mm.
So, lots of plasma firepower. Now, on top of that, one of the scouts can replace their plasma pistol with a plasma gun, which means they're going to have the 24-inch range on their plasma, and they're going to be able to double tap when they're in rapid fire range, which is nice. One equipped with a plasma pistol can change that out for with a plasma pistol can also equip a haywire mine. So you're trading out the knife. You still keep your plasma and you get the proximity mine, which is cool.
Yeah.
What the haywire mine
Yeah.
does is once per battle at the start of any phase. So this could be in combat phase or your turn, their turn, any phase. You can select one enemy unit within 3 inches of the bearer and roll 1d6. On a 2+, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds.
Oh, nasty.
And if it's a vehicle unit, they suffer 2d3 mortal wounds.
Oh,
So yeah, they get some explosive
wow.
firepower here. So
Yeah,
plasma
man.
damage on top of getting once per game explosion, that is cool.
Yeah, definitely.
You can
That is lethal.
now you may remember that the kill team comes with one who's got a rune priest in training.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that in the 40k version too.
Justiciar, right?
No,
Is it?
that's the wolf priest in training. This one is a rune
Oh,
priest in
okay.
training, and it's
Oh, right.
so right. They're still just considered a scout, but this one's going to have psyker abilities.
Mm.
One scout may exchange their plasma pistol and combat blade with one bolt pistol and a thunderclap. One thunderclap spell and one thunderclap ability and a runic stave. So that's basically like without calling them a psyker, that's your psyker build. And if this unit
Mhm.
contains 12 models, because you can double up this unit from 6, which would be 5 and a hound, to 10 and 2 hounds. If it contains 12 units, one scout's plasma pistol can be replaced with one instigator bolt carbine. Now,
What's an instigator bolt carbine?
so the only other 2 places that exists is I think the Phobos captain has it, which is really
Okay.
underwhelming on him. You get like an extra sniper shot, but it's with a precision shot, but it's not very powerful. I think. Let me double check. Instigator bolt carbine. It's -2 AP. It's got precision. It's only strength 4, but it is 2 damage. So you have a 1 shot per turn chance of being able to damage a character. I don't know if that's worth giving up the plasma. The only time the instigator bolt carbine is really useful is in an eliminator squad, because the sergeant has an ability to move the squad after using the instigator bolt carbine. However, this squad doesn't get that. So I personally would think it's probably better off to leave it home, but it's keep the plasma. But of course, dealer's choice there, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's their equipment. We're going to go back up. A bolt pistol, normal, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage. Instigator, we just covered. Hits on 3s, strength 4, -2 AP, 2 damage. The plasma gun, of course, one person gets to equip this. 24 inches, hitting on 3s. Strength 7 if it's not supercharged, 8 if it is. 2 AP if it's not
AP.
or 3 if it's supercharged, and of course 1 damage or 2 if it's supercharged.
You always supercharge. I mean, right?
Yeah, always supercharged.
Always supercharged.
Except for on the sergeant sometimes, because you don't want to lose the sergeant. But I usually just say always, always shall. And then of course the same thing for the plasma pistol, but it's only 12 inches instead. But still, I mean, having a whole squad with plasma is beautiful. All right, so here are their special abilities.
Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, if there are no other units from your opponent's army within 6 inches of that target, add 1 to the wound roll, which is pretty cool because plasma usually doesn't have trouble wounding infantry, but if it does have something like you're wounding a light vehicle or something like that, you're getting +1 to wound. So most vehicles you're now wounding on 4s or 5s, which is pretty cool.
Mm.
You're never gonna have to roll a 6 unless they don't, unless they have other units around. That could definitely be a useful damage buff. And then hunting hounds. While this unit is within 6 inches of one or more friendly Space Wolves characters,
Including Wolfen.
excluding Wolfen.
Excluding, yeah.
So Murderfang wouldn't count.
Nope.
If this unit is not battle shocked, hunting wolves in this unit have objective control of 1. So basically the same as the Fenrisian wolves. So yeah, so that is it. Getting a +1 to wound. I think scouts have a probably better utility ability where they can return to reserves and deep strike again later. However, I still think like getting to be able to infiltrate that first turn, get some deadly plasma fire in, secure an early objective, and of course the hunting hound that's going to let you make charges more often. I think all of that is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now here is the downside. You can get, let me just make sure I get the numbers right. Let me pull up my app.
While you do that, I need to get some water, so I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. We're going to check our chat real quick. All right. Codex Space Marines. Datasheets. And Scouts. All right. Scouts come in at 140 points or 70 points. Now we're going to go Space Wolves. All right, it's going to be a significant cost difference, Sam. All right, so I'm interested while he's getting the water. What do you guys think of the scouts so far? Do you think that you're going to use them in your Space Wolves armies? Do you feel like there's any benefit other than Rule of Cool? Although I got to say, Rule of Cool is a pretty cool reason to put them in. Let me know what you guys are thinking.
Hey, I'm really starting to think those haywire, what is it, D-bombs?
Yeah.
Them things are cool.
Yes.
I'd love to try that in game.
Yes, but I'm going to use my old metal ones. That's cool. Yeah, I like the bombs. They seem really cool. It's funny because I already have one of those bombs painted up for my Space Wolves because I also have
Nice.
incursors that I never got around to painting for my armory.
Mm.
So here we go. This is where the price tag is kind of one of the things that kind of hurts this unit a little bit. So a squad of Space Marine Scouts costs 70 points.
Mm.
And then, of course, 140, doubling that for the large squad. Most of the time, though, most people want to use small units of Scouts to keep them cheapest chips, for scoring reasons, right? Now, granted, Space Marine Scouts aren't going to do very much damage. We all know, but you don't use them for damage if you're using them as scoring. Like their damage is irrelevant if you deep strike them onto objectives or secondaries. Um, now, um, that being said, if you do want the damage, though, the Wolf Scouts come in at a whopping price tag of 105 points. Granted, you are getting the extra body for the Wolf,
Mhm.
and you are getting a 4+ save instead of a 3+ save instead of a 4+ save. So they're going to be a little more durable.
Mhm.
Um, but so Wolf's or Astartes Scouts cheaper. They have the uppy downy, which allows for better scoring of secondary objectives. Wolf Scouts better damage, better save, more wounds because you have the extra wound from the wolf. So it really could go both ways. What are you thinking so far of the benefits of either, Brother Rob?
Uh, I would definitely go. I wouldn't go Wolf Scouts. I would definitely buy the unit anyway just to paint it, but because they're gorgeous. But I mean, you got the uppy downies. You're gonna score those secondary objectives. You got to go at the cheaper version. Like all signs points to, pick the regular Scouts.
That's cool. That's very true. It does
Yeah.
definitely seem like the smart choice.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah. But I still love the unit.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, maybe I'll play it in like, maybe a narrative game where they're included. You can work them in like that. So if you wanted to play a game and you want to play with them, narrative, like if you set them in a narrative, I think it would be best.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially
Yeah.
if you don't have no need to play a competitive game. You're playing
Right.
a super casual game. I think they would definitely
Yeah.
be fun to use. And
Oh yeah. Those are the games that are the best because you can use whatever models you really want, even the ones that are like not top tier because you're achieving a goal that's overarching and not just winning objectives.
heck yeah,
Yeah, man.
I have here. If I can find them amongst all my too many models on my table. I see now why you typically keep only what you're working on right at that moment on the desk. I'm
Yeah.
like, why can't I find anything?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Here we go. So I have a kind of neat little squad of um, Primaris Reavers, one of the, like the um, early standalone kit, before from when they went from uh, mono build to, the full kit.
You have them with you now?
Yes, and so what I had done
Ooh.
is, let me send this. I mixed it with a squad of Gray Slayers from the 30K game, back when I thought I was going to play 30K. And
Wait, aren't you going to play 30K?
yes, but now I'm not doing Wolves for 30K. I'm doing something else for 30K. Doing Iron Warriors for 30K.
Yeah, yeah. Oh goodness.
So here is where I took that squad of Gray Slayers and I kit bashed the 30K Space Wolf Gray Slayers um, with the Primaris Reavers. And, I replaced most of their combat knives with these bearded axes from the Gray Slayers kit. And, they've got the bolt. Some of them have the bolt pistols. Some of them have the grappling pistols. What I'm thinking is I want to take those and get rid of their bolt pistols and um, the bolt pistols and grappling hook pistols and switch
Oh
those
wow.
out for plasmas, and these could be a squad of Wolf Scouts with a simple conversion. Just change out the hand to a plasma hand. So,
Definitely. Those backpacks look so interesting.
oh, the 30K
Like the
backpack.
exhaust fans. Yeah. I mean, what do they remind you of?
Uh, I guess looking at it from this angle, and the thing I think of immediately is either motorcycle handlebars
Oh,
or a jackhammer.
yeah. Jackhammer. That's pretty interesting, right? Like that's a unique shape. That's just such a unique shape that like it you can interpret other things. Like I was thinking like excuse me. I was thinking possibly like yeah, like a periscope or something like that, something mechanical.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
always thought those were interesting backpacks.
Oh yeah. Some of the some of the like older jump packs for 30K also have that almost kind of industrial kind of mechanical feel to them. So I
Yeah, yeah.
definitely uh Gamecraft Dragon says they remind me of Death Guard backpacks. Oh, that makes sense since most
That's
of the
right.
Death
Yeah.
Guard are still using like tainted versions of their 30K armor. That makes sense. So yeah, I have. You know, it's funny because like I put these in my painting project, but like I've never really liked Reavers, and so I didn't really have like a lot of hobby motivation to paint these up. But
Yeah.
seeing the rules for the Wolf Scouts and how cool they are, and I'm like, swap these out for some Plasma Baby, and yeah, I think these will make a sweet squad, and I think I'd be much more motivated to paint that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to see him painted.
I am looking forward to it myself. Now I need to decide whose weapon am I going to swap out for a power weapon, though. I have some pretty cool Primal Hounds wolf bits from Grey Tide Studios. I also have some of the cool power weapons, extra power weapons, because they give you so many options in the Space Wolf box. So I might use one of those. Lots of cool options here.
Sounds interesting. Fun choices.
Oops.
I always like going to the bit bin and picking up things, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to use this weapon in some kind of way, like an expressive way. So
Yes.
then that leads to a whole different adventure where you're chopping up a mini, and before you know it, yeah, personal stance and kit bashed, and just because you're like, I'm just rummaging through my bit bin and it inspires me to do things. Have you ever done that before?
Yes. While you got the phone on you, I wanted to show you as a fellow Legend of Dragoon fan.
Oh
Have you ever
yes.
seen Hero Forge?
Oh my God, no. No way.
So Hero Forge is where you can customize model, usually miniatures for D&D and stuff like that, other tabletop board games. But somebody went
That's
through and
so
made
cool.
Dark in both his human form and his dragoon form, which I thought was badass. And such incredible detail too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Ah. I would have all the characters if they had the minis for them, man. I
And
would collect them all. I'd collect all the dragoons
I don't know if you
in
ever
both
posted
forms.
it, but in the on the page I saw this on, because in
Mhm.
Hero Forge you can actually save whatever you built in Hero Forge and set it out as a link in case other people want to pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Everybody on this Legend of Dragoon page were asking, Link, where's the link?
Yes. My gosh. Look at those wings. I mean, the way they did the wings. I mean, is that what is that? What material did they use? Like,
I I don't know. I've never seen any of their pre-painted stuff before. Or I don't know if it's
yeah.
pre-painted. It's like they say colored. I don't know if that means painted, or if they're using one of those fancy printers that prints in like the different colors or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
But those wings look wild.
right.
That glow looks like it doesn't even look like it has an ending to the tips of the wings. It almost fades.
Well, this is just a render on the Hero Forge site, so
Oh,
They
okay. I thought it was printed already. I
oh
thought
no,
that
no,
was. I'm sorry.
they they ordered it, and
Okay.
I don't think they received it by the time they posted this. But yeah, that's why.
Oh,
Like I said, you're eight, so you can order these pre-colored, which is what this person did, and you can set up a link in case anybody else wants to buy the thing you made, which is cool.
yeah.
So hopefully, I'm gonna keep checking back on that Legend of Dragoon page and see if eventually they put out that link. That would be cool to add to the collection.
Heck yeah. That's
Uh,
awesome.
um, Razzie actually, built a protagonist for one of his stories using Dart as kind of the inspiration for the protagonist in his story too. And so I would love to have something like this for Darklight Dreamer as well. That'd be so cool. And is that? Oh, and that is our news for the week. Unless you would like to, I don't know if you've heard anything on the Champions of Fenris detachment, but
I have not. But,
would you
I
like to
did
hear
want
about
to
it?
talk. I did want to talk a little bit about 500 Worlds.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Please
Yeah.
take the floor, sir.
Um,
You want me to pull up one of the 500 Worlds articles or anything?
I mean, you can. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
So, how did Titus become captain of the second company once again? It's just that I was reading that story earlier and I didn't get to finish it, but because I was interrupted by my daughter. But um, but it's a fascinating story, and it's the his life in the lore and where Demetrian Titus fits in. It just excellent little article uh, that explains, because I always had the question. It's like, what's the story again? Because now I played, of course, I played.
What's the what?
Of course, I played the. Gosh, what am I thinking?
Space Marine?
Yes, one and two. So, I'm fascinated by Titus. So seeing the history here was just pretty interesting for me to go through the history of Titus in there for the 500 World campaign. Now, sorry, that's my blood sugar. Sorry,
It's
I have
all good.
diabetes. So, uh, yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about it because I saw that nice little article and I highly recommend people read it.
There we go. Pulling the article in. Boop. Let's see. We'll start with the Battle for Macragge, a moment that defined the Ultramarines in the broad canon of the 41st millennium. Severus Agamon. I guess technically, if I really wanted to, American it up, it could be Ageman, but I think it's Agamon.
Uh,
Um,
yes, I can't. I know Severus, but age I don't know.
uh, though,
On.
though better known as the captain of the Ultramarines Veteran First Company, Severus Agamon commanded the Second Company until the previous captain, Saul Invictus, was killed uh, at the height of the Battle for Macragge, more than 250 years before the opening of the Great Rift. We all know that basically as the advent of the Primaris era and the awakening of Gilliman. Most recently has been appointed to the position of Tetrarch by Robert Gilliman in order to reclaim Ultramar's northern borders, a task perfectly suited to his boundless experience and wisdom. Lucian Trajan. Captain Trajan rose to command in the Second Company in the wake of Agamemnon's promotion. He served under Agamemnon as first sergeant and benefited greatly from his former captain's tutelage. His tenure lasted over a century of glorious victory until a battle against the Eldari craft world Baal-Tan turned sour. While defending an imperial world from the Xenos, Trajan slew the enemy's Artok in single combat, only to learn that the retreating Eldari had taken one of his Ultramarines captive. Leading a squad to rescue them, he fell into the clutches of an enemy trap and was gunned down, leaving his squad sergeant, one Demetrian Titus, to rout the foe and recovered his body. And as he did so, Bon Jovi played in the background. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Oh.
Oh
Would you
my
like
God.
to? Would you like to read the next part for Demetrian Titus, my brother?
Sure. Though he was content to remain a sergeant and had no aspirations for overall command, Titus eventually accepted Martius Calgar's request that he lead the Second Company. A decade after taking up the mantle, Titus embarked on his faithful mission to the Forge of the World Graia, during which he slew the Chaos Sorcerer Nimroth. But he was taken into custody by the Inquisitor Tharax after his subordinate, Leandros, the Hated, by the way, questioned the captain's seeming resistance to the influence of chaos. Tharax would later be consumed by chaos himself, a workplace hazard for the Inquisition, and Titus was freed of the Grey Knights purged in the Inquisitor's holding. Believing he had brought shame on his chapter, Titus elected to join the Death Watch as a Black Shield rather than return to the Ultramarines.
He made such a cool Death Watch lieutenant too.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. Cato Sakaris. With Titus missing his own first sergeant, his own first sergeant, Sidious slain during the events of Graia, it was decided that Cato Sakaris would take the reins of the Second Company due to his exemplary martial skills and uncompromising service to the chapter. He accumulated many honors and was awards during his time leading the company, such as earning the Valor Crest and being hailed the Knight Champion of Macragge. Sikaris's captaincy covered many decisive campaigns for the Ultramarines, including notorious Damnos incident and the return of Primarch Rabute Gilliman, Terrain Crusade. After being dispatched back to Macragge with the first host of the Primaris Space Marines, his ship, and I hit my mouse and I lost my place. Holy moly.
I hate when that happens.
Where was I? Goodness. Okay. Oh, there it is. I got it. Sorry. Terran Crusade. After being dispatched back to Macragge with the first host of the Primaris Space Marines, his ship was lost in the warp for 5 long years, during which time the Ultramarines declared Sakaris missing in action and instated a new captain in his place, which was Severus Acheron. You want to take over, brother?
Sure. Many of us those of us who played Space Marine 2 will recognize him as the captain to Lieutenant Titus in Space Marine 2.
Yes.
Also known as I can spare 3 men, Captain Acheron. Um, but
That'll have to
also,
be.
he is
Hmm.
the exact sculpt for the Phobos captain. So pretty
Yes, I
cool.
have him.
I have him somewhere.
Yeah, I want to paint them up together as a space as a ultramarine.
That'd be cool. Could go next to our Tituses.
Yes. Are you going to get the Titus, the new Titus, or not? The Captain Titus.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm a sucker.
He's just too cool of a character, and that
Of
sculpt is so
course.
good. I actually like
Yeah.
that sculpt 1,000% more than his lieutenant sculpt. Not just because captains come with extra trimmings like the cloak and whatnot,
Mhm.
but also because the lieutenant pose is kind of tilted. Like you're not sure whether he's going to slash somebody or fall over. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like did he slip on a rock? So I have to between my love for the video game character and
Yeah.
because the sculpt is so cool, just overall, and the fact that I love Ultramarines. So, all right, like many captains, Savastus Akaran originally served as an officer under his predecessor, but was not with Cato Sicarius when his fateful voyage was swallowed up by the thrashing of the Great Rift. He
I
led
need to use the restroom. I'll be back.
Sure, brother. He led the Second Company through many of the defining conflicts of the early Indomitus Crusade, seeing action on Vigilus, within the Pariah Nexus, in Ultramar during the Plague Wars, and in the Fourth Tyrannic War. Most famously, he commanded the company when Titus was reclaimed during the wars of the Residuous system. You may just have encountered him yourself while playing Space Marine 2. Akaran's illustrious service came to an end upon the hive world of Trag, a vital and seemingly loyal stronghold that safeguarded the Pyremote system from Tyranid incursion. After a Munitorum survey vessel and its escort of Mordian Iron Guard disappeared, letting out a single psychic scream before vanishing without a trace, Akaran led a strike force to investigate, accompanied by his decorated lieutenant brother Chiron. What they found was a powerful gene stealer cult embedded in the primary hive, their influence stretching from the Undercity all the way up to the spires, poised to crack open the world's defenses when the Tyranids arrived. The cult's uprising had already begun and threatened to spread across the planet. In order to contain it, Akaran chose to activate the hive's anti-atomic lockdown protocol, sealing his entire force inside the city with nearly endless horde of enraged cultists. Yep. Yep. Well. Oh, here we go. Enraged cultists. This noble choice to sacrifice himself and his brothers kept the Gene Stealer cult bottled up and saved the world and a vulnerable sector from certain doom. Every last Space Marine that landed on Trig was slowly worn down in a series of increasingly desperate battles. When reinforcements arrived to purge the last of the cult, they discovered that Acheron, Chiron, and the rest of their brothers had sold their lives to cull untold numbers of Xenos hybrids. Demetrian Titus again, with his badass fur-lined cape. Check the chat real quick. Boop. I'm back and at work. What's going on? We are just covering some of the new lore for Captain Titus and the captains that came before him. I hope you have a great night at work, my brother. Let's see. After his legendary victory against the Tyranids and Thousand Suns in the Residua system, his survival seemed on a seemingly suicidal mission to destroy Chaos artifacts on Zasuj, and further successes against the Tyranids on several worlds in the Bastior subsector. Titus was the clear candidate to succeed Acheran. Misgivings from many of his peers had long since been silenced, and Titus took up the role, swearing to honor his former captain's legacy as he leads Second Company, fulfills the duties of Master of the Watch, a responsibility of the role. So, since he's honoring his former captain's legacy, he will also issue suicide missions 3 men. Now it is Captain Titus's duty to fortify the borders of Ultramar and defend his chapter's realm, even as it expands at Gilliman's command. Every new conquest is another drain on resources, and his task is difficult in the extreme. But with his Wardens of Ultramar adding their substantial strength to his cause, and an agile fleet of warriors at his command, Titus is exactly the Space Marine for the job. Find out more about the 500 Worlds Titus and the exceptional individuals in the good captain's command staff next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I am back, and I am so sorry. All right. So what's happening is my glucose monitor is crashing,
Uh-oh.
and it's warning me that I have very low blood sugar, and the alarm is going off, and at the worst possible moment. So I took a tablet to get my blood sugar back up, and I'm just checking to see if it's working. So I'm really sorry about the high-pitched bleeping noises that was going on in the background, because my phone was just connected to my monitor, and it was just, I had to deal with that.
It's all gravy, baby.
Sorry.
Friendly Neighbor Inquisitor says, I'm so happy Titus got his old job back. Plus, just imagine how pissed Leandros must have been. Exactly. Exactly.
Friggin' Leandros. I think he's the most hated character in all of Warhammer. And he might be one of them.
Yeah, I was about to say. Definitely not more than Erebus.
Oh my god. F that dude.
F that dude.
Funk that dude, man.
As I was saying it, Inquisitor was typing, there's always Erebus.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, that brings us to 11 o'clock, my brother. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, or any closing thoughts you might have?
Only that if there was only more time, I'd find more time to paint and hobby and hang out with you guys. Because every day that I think about hobby, and I think about the community, and I think about everybody involved, it always brings a nice little smile to my face, no matter what you're going through in life.
Heck yeah.
Well, so I leave you with that, folks. If anything is ever crashing or things are getting hard, think to the community. We think you're pretty cool.
Heck yeah. Hobby is therapy. And
that's right.
In fellow hobbyists, you always have some friends excited about the hobby with you right here.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you guys liked tonight's episode, please make sure that you smash that like button.
Wrap it on ox.
Yeah, I messed up my own outro. I don't know. My mind just went blank all of a sudden. Anyways, we'll try that again.
Wrap on ox.
If you guys like tonight's
Smash
episode,
that like button in the name of the Emperor.
drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be any part of any of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to the Miniatures Paintbrush, if you're not subscribed here, if you're not subscribed to our friends in our link tree below, the Friends of Wolfbrother Hobbies, we'd love to have you as part of the pack here at Wolfbrother Hobbies.
Till next time, guys. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.